Oh, Steve White's 89, the Supreme Steve White. Well, not really. But, okay, so Doomcock and Robert Meyer Burnett are at it still. It's kind of fascinating. Now, Robert Meyer Burnett has hated New Trek since like 2009, since the first JJ film. I didn't really have troubles with Star Trek until Discovery, like a lot of people, because I kind of accepted the new films as just sort of silly popcorn movies, and I was kind of okay with that if when they went back to TV they would do a serious series. I sort of found a way to sort of live with that. But once we got Discovery, you know, that's when I started my YouTube channel. And a lot of people did. A lot of people, started going on YouTube to defend Star Trek. That was one of the holy grail sort of franchises that were being attacked. And now, Robert Meyer Burnett is saying the new season of Picard is good. And people are freaking out because what are they going to do if Star Trek is good? What are they going to do if they actually make Star Trek, if they made Star Trek great again? What would they do? Because that campaign works on fear and anxiety and, anger and everything. And if you take that away, if you fix the problem, how do you feed the base? Well, I guess they've got other shows. They've got, the continual issues with Star Wars, Doctor Who, stuff like that. So I guess he'd survive on all that hate, but how would he be able to handle like Star Trek being good again if it was? Now, saying that, I have to just point out that Robert Meyer Burnett, his favourite Star Trek is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which is the least Star Trek of all the Star Treks, and it was designed as anti-Trek or anti-TNG. So the fact he thinks that's the best Star Trek does make me wonder if he actually knows what really good Star Trek is. Even though his favourite Star Trek movie is Star Trek The Motion Picture, which is the most Star Trek film, so it's a bit confusing. Now, Robert's not stupid. I have some other issues with his policies and, his political views and so forth, and his bizarre ability to lay down with dogs and think he's not going to get fleas. I just don't get that, because it's like he knows who these people are, but he just somehow manages to make excuses and be like, I'm just here for, the Star Trek or the Star Wars or, the pop culture. It doesn't matter what they believe, separately from, I'm like, you can't separate the two. But he somehow manages to do that somehow. And I just don't understand. But it's fascinating because he keeps, like, challenging Doomcock to watch the show because he knows Doomcock's going to watch it. Doomcock's saying he's not going to watch it, but he knows he's going to watch it. And then when he watches it, if it is good, because I think Doomcock's favourite Star Trek is Deep Space Nine as well, I can't remember. What's he going to do? Is he just going to keep on lying and saying it's bad when it's not? Is he going to admit that it's not bad? Is he going to, cope with the possibility that if they do a spin-off series after Picard and Terry Matalas is in charge and he sort of is put in charge of the universe because he's somehow managed to make a good Star Trek within that universe, that could possibly make real fans and New Trek fans happy if he manages to do that, like Robert Meyer Burnett has suggested that he has. Will they leave him in charge? Will he make another show? Will that be good? Will Star Trek's future going on be good? Will be full of good shows. What would he do? Where's he going to get that hate from? I guess he'll have to focus on the other shows or whatever. But that's what these people do. They know what their base wants. They just find, whatever new story, whatever new show comes out, they just, frame it how it works for their base, feed it to them, and it doesn't actually matter if that's true or not or real or not. That's what they do. So what's he going to do? And Robert is literally challenging him. He's saying, I demand you watch this show. I call you out. Watch 4 episodes. I think he was saying, watch 4 episodes. It started off just being 40 minutes. Watch 40 minutes. If you don't like the first episode, I'll accept it. Now he's saying, no, watch 4 episodes and then come on my show and tell me it's bad and explain to me how it's bad. Otherwise, let's do a review of the show because I know you're going to like it. And it's kind of fascinating. I kind of want to see where this goes. I want to see if the show's good or bad. Because even if it's Deep Space Nine bad, it's still Star Trek. It's the worst of the Star Treks, but it's still Star Trek. It's not, it won't be New Trek level. So it'll be fascinating to see how that plays out. I want to see how it plays out. And I'm just sort of quietly waiting to see where it all goes and waiting to see, kind of like with Avatar and that release and how that's sort of been a bit of a roller coaster for people and so forth. I kind of see Star Trek Picard Season 3 being like that, where some people are going to be shocked if it is good and they're going to have to adjust because I think they're under the assumption that Star Trek was going to stay bad and they could bank on that. And they may not be able to, which would be fascinating. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And this has all been on Twitter. I've just seen a bunch of Twitter posts from the two of them going backwards and forwards. And Doomcock is, steadily promoting it as the worst show in the history of, the world. And Robert Meyer Burnett is saying, no, it's good. And I dare you to watch it and tell me it's bad. So it's going to be interesting to see where this ends up on February 17 or 18 when Doomcock's watched it. Okay, I'm going to go. Bye.